This is something. This is something everybody needs to know about. If you could, I will need a little time to prepare and think of how to explain this to everybody else out there. But if you could please start gathering the people of the vault, I will meet them on the pier in approximately half an hour. All hands. There can be no excuses.
Very well, sir. Would you like me to mop up that tea you spilled before that?
No. We've got more important things to worry about right now. Get out there and get those people together.
Right away, sir.
And as you're leaving, he's kind of tapping and like leaning forward with a very concerned look on his face.
I have floated away.
Is anybody else waking up of their own volition?
I'm imagining that I probably didn't sleep. I've been super excited about my sniper rifle and my pressurized axe.
You've been on the mentats all night.
Yes, there we go. I've been on the mentats.
Yes, which definitely don't contain any amphetamine. Just something very close to it, but no amphetamine. Victor's been up all night, so we're going to come to you as and when. Is Percy waking up naturally, or are we going to take Shuttlecock to you to wake up?
Percy, after a very fascinating and rigorous night, he's still completely sparked out in his abode.
Okie doke. So, just because we don't need to go through everybody, there's probably about 20 people still down in the vault, and there's about another 15 up on the pier, including Percy. So Shuttlecock makes his way around the vault itself, waking people up, or in fairness, most of the people are actually already awake. It's 10 o'clock on a normal day. Not everybody had a late night last night.
Days are wasting.
Exactly. So you catch people at their various stations and explain the situation, give them the instruction to be upstairs within the next 25 to 20 minutes, as it's taken you some time floating about. And with about 15 minutes left, you go up the elevator and start waking folks up on the pier itself, including Percy.
Is Percy on the boat, or is he...
They're on the dock, on the pier itself. I don't think anybody slept on the boat.
Okay, but we got like a little shack or something.
Yeah, we've got the line of shacks down the middle of the pier itself, the ones that were the kind of, what were the ruined shops and kind of outlets that have now been converted into small living areas.
Okay. I think as these aren't the vault, I don't respect them as structures, so I just kind of barge my way through the door without knocking.
Can you have a klaxon? You know that?
I mean, I could do. My thought was it's literally just like, this is a metal door. I'm just not even going to slow down as I barge my way through it. So there's going to be a bit of a clang as I sort of clang my way into your bedroom and say,
"The Overseer requires your presence in 17 minutes and 43 seconds, Percy."
Why did they name you Shuttlecock when Cuckoo would have been so much better? All right, thank you, Shuttlecock. I'll be up and make my way down.
I'm long gone at this point. I'm long gone.
Just floating onwards. Repeating the message for everybody.
Every time I try and say something to Shuttlecock, he's fucked off.
You hear from the next room over the clatter of Shuttlecock entering a room, and Sally shouting, "What the bloody hell are you doing in here? Get out of here!"
"Sally, the Overseer requires your presence in 17 minutes and 23 seconds.
"That's fine, Shuttlecock. You didn't need to come in here clattering about and waking me up like this. I'm in no state to see you."
I am long gone.
And as you float down the pier, waking everybody up, you eventually reach the end, and you can see the ruined fairground and training area to your left and the ballroom to your right, knowing full well that Victor's almost certainly haunting the ballroom, as he regularly does.
Clatter my way inside.
I think need to go through a wall at this point.
As we've not really been in the interior of the ballroom since the original story, let's refresh memory where it was previously a very worn-out entrance area with a little cloakroom and posters on the wall, and not much about that has changed. It's a bit cleaner. The actual entranceway has been boarded up and closed off to the elements. The door has been repaired so it functions as a door now. The actual ballroom itself, as you float in, Shuttlecock, what was previously a ruined ballroom floor with a massive kind of 2-meter gap in it where it was created for a trap by Mr. Balloon. Victor has created some simple bridges, weirdly taking inspiration from what you did on the original journey. The chairs and tables that have been stacked up to the sides have been used to kind of create these makeshift bridges that are now nailed in place so they can't shift or anything. And the whole is being closed off in this kind of makeshift way. The room was in a terrible state of repair with blood on the windows and what have you. And while Victor's not exactly a diligent cleaner, he has at least gotten the windows clean to let some light in. And the room's it's musty, it's got damp and signs of decay, but it's passable now. You float on through into the back to head into the little space that once was Mr. Balloon's workshop, but is now Victor's.
Victor, the Overseer requests your presence in 15 minutes and 42 seconds.
Not exactly motoring around the area, are you?
I had to go the whole length of the pier into the ballroom. It's taken me a minute and 10. I think that was pretty quick.
That's pretty quick, all things considered.
I'm completely transfixed in some schematics for another thing that I want to do in the future. I barely noticed Shuttlecock's existence. I'm in a full-on meth mode. I mean, not meth mode. So maybe Shuttlecock has to come a bit closer.
I don't think I do. I think I in my head I have let you know, and I've turned around and started heading back towards the pier, because at this point we're rapidly approaching only 15 minutes before the Overseer wants everybody assembled, and I need to make sure there are refreshments on standby for him in case he gets thirsty while giving a speech.
Okay. So, with that then, you, Shuttlecock, will float your way back up the pier, start prepping the little spot around the elevator, make sure you've got your teacup and your saucer and your serving platter ready to go and all that kind of stuff. And what do the other guys, I mean, Victor, obviously, I think we should establish what you're doing. So your head, your brain is in the schematics. You didn't hear what was said ostensibly. Do you think you're going to notice anything?
I'm going to be in full work mode. So I've not heard anything, and I'm still just working away.
And just out of curiosity, possibly for my own sake later on for mental planning, what are we looking at? What's the vague? Keep it vague if you like, but what's the next plan?
I'm not sure just yet.
This is just a dumb joke, not serious. But I can't help but imagine that you've got pictures of a computer and pictures of a woman, and the woman is coming out of the computer somehow. And you're not quite sure how you'll make this weird science work, but you're quite certain it could.
Again, all of these things I've definitely put on paper and gone, let's put this in the maybe pile.
So, with Victor head deep in science, and everybody else kind of prepped and aware, we'll head back to the pier. The elevators come up. Those that were downstairs have come upstairs. And last of all to join is the Overseer. The small crowd has gathered in front of the elevator as Shuttlecock tries to keep order and get everybody quiet and gathered in the same spot at the same time. It's like herding cats for some of these people. And the Overseer steps out of the elevator, sees Shuttlecock with platter and tea and everything. Oh, you always do have my best interest at heart, Shuttlecock. I'm sorry for snapping at you earlier. And he comes over and takes a little sip of tea and pops it down on the tray. Oh, yes, that'll help with the speech giving. I need a little pep. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention. And he raises his arms and kind of gathers the attention of the crowd. And he looks out over them, narrows his eyes as he's kind of counting heads. Okay, I think that's everybody's here. We missing anybody? I can't see. Nobody hiding at the back there, is there?
Well, another test of my pressurized axe while this is happening.
Okay. Hearing, as he's finishing those words, a clang rings out again. Familiar from a few hours prior. And those in the crowd who can see the Overseer's eyes see them widen. Oh, I thought that there was somebody missing. Where the hell is our local science idiot? Is that him making that awful racket off in the distance? You did tell him, didn't you?
I can only apologize, sir. I did inform Victor of the meeting. I gave him an exact timescale.
I shouldn't expect anything less from that boy. Never has been one for following the rules, but I suppose he has his uses. Well, he needs to know what's about to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please, I suppose we will have this meeting in the former ballroom. If you please follow me. And he starts leading everybody down the pier, sort of heading through the crowd and then out in front of them, and waves Shuttlecock to kind of keep pace alongside him. The Pendragon's here, actually, before I go much further. And from the middle of the group of people, you hear a, yeah, we're here. Me and Harriet. I don't know where Harriet's gone, but he's bound to be around here somewhere. Well, if you could join me up at the front, please. And he gets Harry and Harriet up alongside, and they all start heading down the pier with the crowd in tow behind. Were you doing anything specific with the hammer, or were you just taking a swing on it?
Just doing some final calibrations.
Okay, so I think that you've come upstairs to do this, and you're in the foyer area of the ballroom itself, where I've just described it being cleaned up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And in your curiosity of like, well, you've seen what it's done to concrete. There was some wooden flooring that ostensibly doesn't need to be passable in that entrance area, and you've done it there to see what would happen. Now, given what I described about the weapon itself and have established, could you please give me you're only hitting the floor, so could you give me a difficulty 1 on your, let me just see, your strength and your melee weapons. You have no melee weapon skill and a strength of 4. So if I could have at least 1 success on 2d20 below 4, please.
Brilliant.
Possibility of missing the floor here is actually pretty high.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we have 2 failures and an 11 and a 9. So, you fully charged it this time. You thought, I kept my hands on it, I was alright, let's give it another swing. And you've clanged it on the ground, and what everybody else heard was this thumping noise. What's happened is that you've given it the full sledgehammer 2-hand swing onto the ground, like you're doing a test of strength in the fairground kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And the head of this thing, as soon as it hit the ground, pinged up so fast that it has actually gone and stuck itself. It's launched out of your hands, and it is now stuck in the ceiling above you. The ceiling's a good 20 foot because it's like a foyer to a theatre. It's quite a large open area. The thing bounced out of your hands 20 feet into the air and is lodged in the ceiling. And as you're stood with bits of rafter and dust pouring down on top of you, that's when the Overseer, everybody else in tow, starts stepping into the entrance of the ballroom with him saying, Victor, what is it? All hands meeting on the pier. What the bloody hell are you up to in here?
Oh, morning, Overseer. What's going on? I'm just doing some work. To help.
You are covered from the shoulders downwards in a lot in your hair in this white dust, and it's very obvious, with it still coming down from the ceiling, that something's just happened. And the overseer looks up and goes, "What the... Victor, are you destroying the ballroom? What's that thing you launched up into the ceiling there? What... You're always working on stupid toys like this, boy. Why? Why can't you just work for the good of the vault?"
This is for the good of the vault. I'm making weapons. I'm sure we'll need these in the future. Also, I'm now going off to go find the ladder so I can get the axe out. So I can get the axe out of the ceiling. Anyway, I can't stay here. I'm gonna go get a ladder. I'll be back in a moment. And then we'll look up.
As you say this, Percy's just sort of looking on, listening, and then just does a face palm. Oh, bloody hell, Victor.
Absolutely off my face right now. I'm on the mentats.
Yeah.
I'm on the mentits.
Better mind your head, sir. Looks like some kind of shotgun hammer lodged in the ceiling.
I don't know what the devil that thing is, but you're not wrong. Everybody, take a step back. Try not to walk directly underneath that particular spot that Victor's... I don't know what he's even trying to do, making weapons, but... Well, it might actually be helpful. I'll explain more in a moment, but let's just wait for him to bring whatever he's bringing back, and he needs to be here. That's the bottom line.
I've gone off somewhere, and you can just hear like the clanks of stuff being moved around and like played with, and now I'm dragging a ladder to the area in question.
Everybody is stood in relative silence, shuffling feet as the overseer kind of looks occasionally over his shoulder at the clanging and banging and scraping noises, and everybody can see him wincing and holding back the urge to explode right now. That something clearly is playing on his mind, but he needs to maintain composure.
Herbal tea, sir?
Yes, I certainly need something to calm these nerves. Bloody Victor is making a complicated situation even more difficult. And you can see his hand is shaking a bit, and his knuckles are white as he takes the tea off you. As if the sooner this is over with, the better. He takes a little sip. As Victor is casually coming around the corner, scraping his big ladder, you get set up, and is Victor intent on, like, he's just going about this, he's getting the thing down no matter what's happening?
Yeah, well, I'm completely oblivious to the gravity of the situation right now. On the mentits.
Okay, so Victor is doing this right behind the overseer as he addresses the group. He says, "Well, at least we're all here. You can hear me, right, Victor?" He looks up. You've gone halfway up the ladder. Victor, listen to me, man. I don't care if you get that thing down. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay?
But I'm awfully busy right now, overseer.
Victor, I've given you a lot of leeway in living up here, but believe me, this could all change very rapidly, and when you hear what I've got to say, I think you'll understand exactly what I mean.
Okay. Fine. And I slowly start stomping down the ladder, like... trying to make a power axe, and no one lets me make a power axe these days. Ugh.
Okay, right. I think I finally got all of your attention. Now, if everybody could just give me a moment, because this is the biggest news I've ever had to deliver to the vault, short of us leaving the way that we have recently. Times are changing so fast, I don't even know which way is up or down some days. And, well, to cut a long story short, after they returned, I sent out a signal to the local government. The vault was built with this in mind. Protocol says that as soon as we have left the vault and established a landing for ourselves and a place that we can establish a new life, that we should make a call out to the government, and that's exactly what I have done. And, well, they've actually messaged back. Shuttlecock received a signal last night. I've spent some time on my systems and computers verifying its veracity, and that it is most definitely from the contingency of our government. And, well, they say they're coming for us. I don't know when they're going to get here. All it said was that they have made arrangements and that there will be contact soon. And that we are to prepare ourselves, that there is currently a conflict underway according to the message that we are to join in with, and that we are required on the front. So, quite frankly, all eyes and ears open. I don't know where they will be coming from. They didn't give anything more than that, but we are soon to be part of the great British Empire once more.
Can I go up this ladder so I can get this Pyrax? Or what?
The Overseer's head turned so sharply that you could have sworn it was about to spin all the way around. What? Fine, Victor. You get your bloody toy out of that ceiling, but keep listening, because we're going to need to make some plans. Okay, so...
Shrug back up the ladder now.
Yeah, echoing out the clonking, clanking steps and the creaking of the thing. It's a very quiet spot you're in. So, like, that is really overpowering as he looks to the crowd and tries to gauge reaction from everybody. Some of the crowd are in awe, just silently kind of like agog. Harry is nodding to himself with a smile on his face, sort of saying things like, I bloody told you they'd come. I knew it. I knew they'd be back. No, we followed those rules down to the T, and I know that we will be rewarded for that, won't we, love? Pulls Harriet close and goes, this is the day we've been waiting for. What's Percy's reaction to this, as there's the one human player in that crowd currently?
Hey, I'm almost human.
I mean, you're not in the crowd, you're there. But you're not in the crowd.
Percy's not quite sure how to take the news. On the one hand, good to know there's someone else or something else living out there. It's not just them on their own. But at the same time, if they're coming to be collected only to be put back out into some kind of conflict, I mean, the whole point was these vaults are supposed to protect people from the fallout of a conflict of any kind. Doesn't sit too well with him. He's kind of listening into the rest of the crowd, seeing what they're all kind of thinking.
I can imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong thinking this, but with Percy being a kind of like, he's a bit of a stoic enforcer, is my mind's eye view of him, is that I think that you describing all of this, very little of that would be showing on his face. That, like, he's the type of guy, and again, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I've got this vision of, like, he's cross-armed, kind of looking around, gauging everybody else.
Yeah. He's whatever he's feeling, he's not making it visible to other people. He is just, outwardly, he's taking it and going, okay, right. But internally, he is kind of, he's on the fence about whether this is a good thing or a bad thing.
You can see that she's not quite close enough that you could talk. I mean, there's enough people here for it to be a fairly kind of like, you're spread out a bit. Sally's there talking to some of the other vault dwellers with a mixed look of kind of like, she's flitting between excitement and concern as she's kind of excitedly saying, I didn't think that there was going to be anybody else out here. I mean, we've got to be so lucky to have gotten the signal out so quick and get a response. I thought that maybe we'd be the last ones. And other people are kind of nodding and saying, yes, it's a good thing. I can imagine that this is going to be the start of all kinds of wonderful things for the Vault. A couple of others are saying, I don't know if I want to leave. Are they saying that we're going to have to go out and fight? I think I read something in the books about some of those European lot. I don't know, it might be them that we have to fight. I don't know about the food they eat. I've heard all kinds of crazy things.
Coming over here, trying to force us to use their currency, join some kind of Eurozone, undermine our fishing industry.
The Overseer, having dispensed the information he needed to give, and seeing that everybody is kind of full of mixed emotions as he is, calls out and says, okay, just one last thing. If everybody could just calm down for just a moment. I know that this is the most, mind-boggling news. I don't even know exactly how this is going to pan out, given the lack of direct information that they gave. But the one thing that I would like everybody to remember is that we are still one vault. that while the world around us has changed, we know that we are British at heart and that we will carry on. That there will be no change in the way that we behave, that we will hold true to our practices and our traditions. The world may have changed and the government itself may have changed, and we may well need to deal with that in whatever way we feel necessary when that time comes. But together we are strong. And while some of us, and he sort of half peers over his shoulder towards Victor, some of us may fly our own routes sometimes, we all end up coming back together in the end. And if there's nothing else I would have you take from this piece of information, is that we are moving forward, onwards and onto better things together. And some people from the crowd kind of go, yeah, but the Vault, we know. Harry and Harriet in particular pipe up loudly and go, yeah, we're all in this together, aren't we? And he's looking around with a certain amount of like, please nobody tell me that I'm not part of this. Like, we're in here now, right? And nobody is giving that feeling. He's being reassured by the fact that it's like, no, you're in now.
I pipe some patriotic sounding music out of my speakers.
Hearing this, Harry stops, like, looking around and immediately snaps to attention. Like, the stiffest, like, he's fully to attention and is holding this completely until the music stops. The Overseer picks back up and says, thank you, everyone. It's reassuring to know we're all truly on the same team. Well, I think that the best thing we can do is start preparing for the arrival of whoever it is that's going to turn up from the government. Those of you living on the surface, if you could continue with the repairs, and if you could also station an extra lookout, I think we're going to need to cover the skies, the land, the sea, every direction that they could come from. I want a pair of eyes on it. And those of you down in the vault, I think that it's fair to say that we will need to make sure that the place is spick and span, everything is up to speed, that we have everything we need in order to make sure that, once again, that they are welcomed wholeheartedly and they see that we are the best of British. So I will put you to work on that. Victor, if you could please try and focus on the work in the vault as is necessary, assist on the pier if needed. And then, if you have time, you are welcome to return to your experiments. But for now, I need you to remember that you're one of us, not yet quite out in the wild.
I'm stuck. Can somebody help me, please?
Percy, get him down from that bloody ladder. The silly boy's got his foot stuck in a rung.
Right away. Come on, Victor.
I'm holding the axe and I press the button while Percy's coming to help me. Just a nightmare.
You madman.
No, Victor, don't press. Oh, no.
Okay, so Percy is going to come up behind Victor and kind of try and get his arms around his upper thighs and kind of like up towards the waist to hoist him off. Victor, his top half shifts backwards, grabs the hammer with both hands, hand lands on the button, and pressurized air shoots out of the front of the axe. Now, I'm going to have you both roll separately. Firstly, let's see if Percy can hold you up with that extra force going backwards. So, Percy, with a difficulty of 1, because you're a strong guy, let's have a strength and, let's see, athletics check to see if you can hold your stance well enough and kind of center your weight so that you're not immediately flung backwards. I'm fascinated at how much of a disaster this can turn into.
I think I have just hovered to be in between the overseer and this happening, just in case.
Okay, right. So there's about there's about 2 foot between the ladder.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was not picturing it that close to the overseer.
Oh, it was taking place directly behind where the overseer was talking. Was my mind's eye view?
Right.
Of it. Was
Okay.
If we were having like the camera direction, we've got the shot is focused on the overseer as he's talking and everything, but in the background you can see Victor fucking about with the ladder, going backwards, upwards, and up and down.
Yeah.
Yawning, looking to the side.
If it's that close, forget it then, because don't worry about it.
Okie doke. Let's see, what did we get? Did we roll?
Oh.
The critical successes are coming thick and fast today, bloody hell. So, we've established Percy's going to at least manage to hold himself together. Now, Victor, could you give me a difficulty 2 strength and athletics check?
Don't.
Now, just to
this up.
remind, Victor has a strength of 4 and 0 athletics.
Can you beat Percy's 3 successes there?
Yep. We are looking at 2 under 4 for Victor.
No problem.
You got this.
And
Wait, what he meant was that no problem.
No.
18 and a 7.
Okay, so
Can I use an action point to help him?
Too late. You got to declare that before the checks.
I'm taking this all into account that you've done well. You've done very well. In fact, Percy's stance has held incredibly well. The man is like a tree trunk in terms of like you barely shook him. Victor, however, has with his waist kind of legs and upper legs and waist being held, and the pressure from the pressure hammer, whatever we're going to call this, coming out of the front. You've bent backwards from the midsection very rapidly. You've sort of slammed backwards in an almost contortionist kind of position. And the sound of multiple small popping noises as your back ratchets backwards can be heard. The pressure hammer falls out of your hands and you are now kind of like leaning fully backwards. Imagine you're doing like a crab walk, like the Linda Blair from The Exorcist, doing the crab walk on the hands and feet.
Like a bridge backwards.
Exactly. It's only your back. Your legs have been held very staunchly by Percy. So...
Should call this weapon the Widowmaker.
it's a liability, that's for sure.
Only in the wrong hands, which are mine.
Victor is going to take a point of damage, and I'm going to say that in any instance where, for the next day or so, that Victor might need to bend forwards, it's going to increase your difficulty. So your range of movement has been affected for the next session, let's say. Wherein, yeah, if you're going to need a further athletics strength check, anything related to you being physically capable, then it's going to be super hard to do that next time. And Percy kind of plonks you down, and quite how much you can straighten up, I'll leave to you, really. But the fact is your back is inclined towards bending backwards in the wrong direction, in such a way that, like, everybody's quite disturbed by the sight of you, but you're battling through it. It only hurt a little bit, and the pain seems to have rapidly worn off. Whether that's the drugs flowing through your system or not,
I was going to say, I'm going to still be all drug loose. So I'm like, I've not really like processed what's happened. So I'm like, oh, that was something. I wonder if I'll regret that later. And I kind of like, and then I try and stand up, and I'm like, oh, no.
On the ground next to you, the weapon lies, and the overseer looks over and says, "Oh, you're going to do yourself a mischief, more so than you already have if we leave you with that thing. That's not for you to use, is it?"
Oh no, I made this for Percy.
Wait, you did what?
Oh yeah, I want my wrench back.
So let me get this straight, Victor. You made a weapon that could easily kill a man just by them using it to give to me so that I could return to you, busty wrench. Fuck.
But enough about Sally. Hey.
In the crowd, Sally turns bright red and takes one step backwards behind everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
They all do that.
The overseer kneels down next to the weapon and says, "Well, I can certainly see how this would cause you problems, Victor, and I suppose kudos for even coming up with the idea. If we are to be sent to the front lines, we will need some weaponry, and, well, Percy, I understand the trepidation, but that thing does seem to pack a hell of a wallop. I'm not going to insist that you use it, but if it comes time for the vault to be defended, then I should expect you to make the right choice, yes?"
Yes, Overseer, absolutely. Victor, thank
I'm
you
asleep.
for making this.
I'm asleep. I'm falling asleep. The drugs have worn off and I'm falling asleep now.
Leaning backwards on his feet.
Yeah.
I suppose he's been up all night working on that, and, well, everybody knows what they need to know. We can all disperse and get on with our days. But as said, if we could keep our ears and eyes open, and everybody disperse. Feel free to go on your way. Shuttlecock, if you could quickly join me over here, please. And
Of course, sir.
waves you over to the corner of the room, away from everybody else's earshot, with everybody sort of shuffling out of the room. Victor loudly snoring, leaning backwards next to the ladder.
Percy, while the Overseer wanders off, Percy just sort of tries to shift Victor gently into a more comfortable position without making anything else bend.
You tap him on the arm to sort of get a gauge of how steady he is, and he sort of like waves a little bit in the air, like the breeze has taken him, and he's kind of wobbling backwards and forwards, but seems quite sturdy on his feet. And to look at him, there is a certain amount, like, you shouldn't really put him on his back, because that's not going to be good, because his back's a bizarre curve right now. So maybe this is the best. Up to you if you really want to lay him down. But on appearances, he looks like he might be all right to just be left swaying in the wind for now.
I think instead of laying him flat, I'm going to sort of turn him round and then just let him sort of lean into the seated angle of a nearby chair.
Okay.
So he's kind of like, he's not on his feet, but he's also remaining curvature.
I think with him being a fairly dead weight at the moment, and you being established as a pretty beefy, we'll not check for that one, but just describe that you lay him down with the care of a mother laying down a newborn, and and leave him kind of like, he's still in the bizarre kind of like C shape on his back, but like he's now laying sideways on this bench. And you can see as you sort of look him in the face that his eyes are twitching wildly, even though he is apparently unconscious. And there's a certain amount of like muscle twitching going on that certainly like doesn't seem like his normal behavior. Something's gone on, you can tell.
A little bit of mouth frothing.
Oh God, Victor, you are so off your man tits with the mentats. What are we gonna do with you? You magnificent nut job.
And as Percy leaves, wondering into himself all of these things, the Overseer leans in to Shuttlecock after looking around. Oh, good, they're all gone. There was Shuttlecock, of course. You understand that you serve me, correct? I just want to make sure that you've not received any updated orders or anything to that effect, yes?
Of course, sir. My loyalty to you and the Vault is without question.
I'm glad to hear it. You do belong to the Vault, and the Vault's belonging to my family. Yes, it's good and proper. I didn't want anybody else to know this, but there was a secondary part to the message. They advised that their operative will be arriving within the next 24 hours by air. They said, though, that I was to meet them exclusively, and that should anybody else happen upon them first, that, well, they may well end up in trouble. So I'm going to advise everybody to keep to the pier. Now, I was told that they would be heading down the beach, back towards where you met the Pendragons. There was a small bunker facility there as far as the message relayed.
Yes, sir, I believe I recall it.
And I would ask that you would station yourself there, and please send a message back via the Vault's computer as and when you receive contact.
Of course, sir. Would you like me to prepare a small luncheon for you before I depart, sir?
I think we've got time for that. Yes, some pilchard sandwiches would be lovely.
Perhaps now would be a good time to return to the vault as well, sir. It is rather filthy here on the surface, not to mention all the radiation. If you'd like to return to your office, sir, luncheon will be served momentarily.
Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time on Thursday, September the 3rd for the next chapter of Vault Theta. We hope you'll all join us for that. In the meantime, you can head to pretendingwithdice.com for links to all of our online presences, including our Discord server, Ko-Fi page, merch store, and much, much more. So yeah, for now, that's our show. We hope you all enjoyed it. See you next time.